Good morning. Welcome to another Think Tank. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So welcome all of our Remax team, Association of Remax team agents. Sorry. That goes to show you when you're going live, things can happen. You just got to keep rolling. So welcome Remax First Realty, Remax First Realty 2, Remax Tri-County, and Remax First Class, as well as anyone else watching this out there. So today I am going to talk about motivation versus discipline. We had a conversation in the office with an agent, and I did a survey, so I wanted to share the feedback as well as cover my point of view for motivation versus discipline, right? We're all motivated. Motivation is great. You come out of a training, you have a coaching session, you wake up, you feel some energy, you're motivated, but how consistent is motivation? Not always consistent. Exactly. Not very, not always consistent, right? But discipline is more consistent. Discipline is basically your behavior, which causes you to take action and what actions you take. So in the long run, you want to be more disciplined than just having motivation, because the motivation could come and go. Some days you're motivated, some days you're not, right? And we always say this business is simple, but it's not easy. It is simple to set your alarm, wake up, and go to the gym. It's very simple at the beginning of the year, right? January 1st, New Year's resolutions, but it is not easy to consistently do it. And you have the motivation with the new year to set your alarm and go to the gym. But after a couple of weeks, most people do not have the motivation. But if you're disciplined and it becomes a habit and your actions and behavior to continue to do it, and it's part of your routine, you don't need the motivation because it's just your everyday course of life. So let's talk about routine. How many people in here have a consistent daily morning routine? That is where you start, right? Your routine dictates how your day goes, what you focus on, and what actions you take throughout the day. So having a routine absolutely works. Look at your routine. Look at what you got to do. One example, as an agent, my routine was checking the hot sheet every morning, clearing out my voicemails and emails from the day before. Because if I needed to address something, I don't want it to last 2-3 days where I get back to people, right? So that was the action I took, which I was disciplined to do that. And through checking the hot sheet every day, I used to be able to find deals and know what the inventory is and understand the market better because I did it consistently. I wasn't motivated when I needed a deal. It just became routine and it allowed me to be consistent. And that's what we're aiming towards. Schedule. How many of you guys use a consistent schedule? You do. You have a personal schedule. Do you have a business schedule?
Yeah. So I actually send everything to my virtual assistant, whether it's a dentist appointment or a meeting. So everything is in the Google Calendar.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Using a calendar.
And it's because it keeps me consistent, knowing then I can go back and see what weeks I didn't really work much. Like, I only had 4 meetings this week, something to look forward to push myself the next week.
Yep. So without a schedule, do you think you'd miss an appointment here and there or forget to be somewhere?
100%.
So
or late, which
Yep.
is even worse sometimes.
Yep. So routine, schedule. Do you guys see the importance and value of having those two?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about making micro commitments. Are there things in this business that you don't enjoy doing?
Yes.
Are those things items that need to get done?
Yes.
What if you committed to just knocking those things out of the way the first thing in the morning, getting them done? Do you think the rest of your day will go smoother without anxiety and stress and pressure that you got to do this one thing that you really hate doing?
Yeah.
Right? What if you commit to, and give me an example, a couple examples of things in this business that you do not like doing?
Most admin work.
Admin work.
Marketing.
Marketing.
I'm To me, it's pretty much anything that has to do with following up with clients.
If this wasn't live, I would rewind and delete that, because that's the whole business you're in. So we got to have a one-on-one about that.
But it's for me, all right. So like, I mean, just little things too. Like, even though I do have an admin that helps me out tremendously, they still like to deal with you as a person.
Yep.
Right? They're trusting
People
us with
business.
Right. They're trusting us with, if not the largest, one of the largest investments they'll ever make in their entire life. And it's something that it's like, okay, this is something that my assistant could have done, but they want to hear from me. And that's when it's like, okay, let me just put it on my to-do list. Like, I literally have to create a to-do list the night before and then make sure that I have yesterday's to-do list finished. So tomorrow I'm working on today's.
Yep.
Yeah,
But if you knock that out, would your day be smoother?
100%.
If you did your admin work first thing, you got up 45 minutes, half hour, X amount of time, or that was your routine where every morning you're not accessible from 8 to 10 or from 9 to 11 or 10:30. You won't take appointments. You won't answer calls until you get that done. Would the rest of your day be more productive once that's done?
Of course.
Same with your marketing, right?
You know,
And that you can actually put on autopilot through later.com and a bunch of other companies. But guys, if you address and commit to doing those tough things, your business will grow.
So for agents that have been in the game for more than a year, right? The
Yeah.
number one rule is staying in contact with your clients from the past, right? Everyone you close with, stay in contact with them, do the mailers. For me, my issue was going through the entire list of people, because it's not a 5-minute conversation. It never is.
Correct.
You know, it's always how you been, and it becomes like a 20-minute, 30-minute conversation, and you don't want to be rude to cut it off. So I actually hesitated doing that for quite some time. And I remember you were on my back on it. And you said, look, you have to do it. Remember, I was going to do a mailer. And you said, you know, you don't send mailers to your friends, so don't treat them like that.
Yeah.
As much as I hated going into it and doing it, when the list was finished, I actually felt so relieved, like, and accomplished.
Yep.
And then it's like, well, why didn't I just do it? Why did I procrastinate this whole time?
And you don't have to block out your day and spend 20 minutes per conversation with 10 people and lose half the morning. But why don't you look to do 3 to 5 a day, 3 a day? If you know you're having 20-minute conversations, which is a good thing because you're building rapport,
Right.
do 3 a day. Or create mini events where every quarter you have a happy hour and you're just making that quick call and invite. And if they can't make it, great. At least we got to touch base. Let's follow up, but let's touch base another time. But if you guys can commit to taking those actions that you know will drive your business, whether it's the marketing, whether it's the admin, whether it's the follow-up, which is one of the big ones, if you commit to making that a habit, that gets done and the business will follow, especially the follow-up, especially the admin if you have to write offers. If you're hesitating to write offers because you hate writing offers, guess what? That property will sell. And the buyer or client will have not a great experience when they said yesterday at 2 o'clock they want to write an offer, and now it's 24 hours later and they still don't have the contract to sign. Make micro commitments, create habits with the task that will drive your business. And especially the things that you don't enjoy doing, because it's easy to put that off and kick the can down the road and never get it done. But if you commit to saying, hey, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to commit because I know it drives my business. It's a tough shift, mental shift. But if you do it, just like you didn't like following up, when you're done, you're like, oh, it was easy. And you see the results. I always say this, the difference between a top producer and struggling agents, I put 3 buckets. Top producers get all that stuff done. And I'm not saying they do it. They might delegate, right? You're at a certain point in your business where you can delegate it, but the heavy lifting, the following up, the admin, the marketing, all this stuff that we don't enjoy doing gets done one way or the other. Consistently gets done. The average agents, it gets done when they're motivated, which is why today I'm talking about motivation versus discipline. Top producers are disciplined. It's consistency and it gets done. The average agents, they're motivated when they come out of a training, watch a cool video, sit a think tank, and they'll do the task, but they're not consistent. They're not disciplined to always do it. So that's why there's peaks and valleys in their business. And then the agents that struggle at the bottom, they just look for a shortcut, reinvent the wheel. There has to be a better way to do it instead of doing the hard work.
Mhm.
That's the business, guys.
100%.
Consistency and being disciplined and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And whether that's cold calling, following up, the more you do it, the better you'll get. Anyone in here, all of us in here rather, if we went to a basketball court and we took a shot at a free throw, we probably missed the first 10.
Mhm.
But if you take 100 of those shots, you're probably going to make almost 10,
Mhm.
if not 10. That's the business. If you're calling FSBOs, yeah, your first 10 shots you're going to miss.
Mhm.
You take 100 FSBO calls, you're going to have some good conversations in there. But we want to make our first 10. That's not the business.
Mhm.
So be disciplined versus just the ups and downs of motivation. All right. Good book on this is Many Habits Create Small Habits, which create big results by Stephen Geist. It's little shifts. There's no magic formula, but it's the little things that you can do consistently that turn into the big things in the snowball effect. Any questions on this? Let me see if there's any comments. Go ahead.
I get so I definitely am determined right now more than motivated because my story is I've spent a year, haven't accomplished. So right now I have that determination,
Great.
which is good.
Yep.
What I'm having trouble with is I definitely I'm working, 7 days a week. Like I actually was like, Tabby, you need to take some time because I think I'm gonna burn out.
Yep.
That's actually one of my downfalls. So my two downfalls are I go too hard in the paint and then I burn out. And I'm also I think I'm a little getting up and running with the admin and different stuff. So like I'm working and I'm talking to my clients, like I looked at your list and what I should be doing every day and I'm doing that, but it's like I take too long.
Okay. That's something we might cover one off, and not all activity is productivity, and seeing what you're doing with the time and how you're breaking down each task and what's taking you too long. Like, are there conversations you need to leave out? Or are there processes that you don't need to really do? There's some redundancy in how you're going about it? And are you too focused, which a lot of newer agents get too focused on the details of the listing, and they're like, study it, and then you send it to the buyer doesn't like it anyway, right? So we'll look at that on a one-off and kind of dissect what's going on with the time and the task, et cetera.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. So I believe that is all. Thank you all for attending, watching, etc. See you on the next Think Tank.